Welcome to our interview. So today we have our special guest, Manuel Arango. It is a pleasure to have him today because we know that he is a person who knows a lot about different topics. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Consider your native language to be fully acquired?
That's something I really, I don't think that I have my Spanish fully acquired because I don't think that people really speak, in Spanish. We are native, but we don't speak it like we don't understand. There are too many words that we don't understand. For example, if you go to Spain, you go to Mexico, there are too many words that you don't get it. So that's why I think that usually we have 80-90% acquired. Right?
Okay.
That's what I think.
Perfect, thank you. And how old were you when you started acquiring your second language?
I was 19 years old.
Wow, perfect. You are young.
I was younger than now.
Yeah. Where did you learn your second language?
I was in the mountains in Huehuetenango
Okay.
because I was serving as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a volunteer service, and we have to be there we have to go on a mission for 2 years. And I was sent there, and that's where I learned.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you have any motivation at the moment you were acquiring your second language?
Yes, actually, as I said before, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and when I went to that mission, I talked about my motivations were religious, like sharing what I think, what I feel that is truth, that make others happy. So that's my motivation. So they sent me to that place to learn the Mayan language, and then they asked me to teach this to American boys. So I was really motivated, actually.
Okay, so your motivation was the service that you were giving to them.
Yeah, serve God and serve my fellows. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Do you consider your second language fully acquired by now?
Something I think is that even my native language is not fully acquired. We usually handle like 80% of our language, as natives.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that my second language and my third language is also 80%.
Okay, thank you. And the last question that I have for you, how old were you when you started to learn English as your third language?
I was 19 years old. First I had to learn this Mayan language, and because I had to teach this Mayan language to American guys, I had to learn and practice English, and that's how I reinforced my English.
Okay, so you were learning both languages at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. We will continue.
Where did you learn your third language?
I learned in those mountains where I was serving as a missionary. That's Colotenango in Huehuetenango.
Can you give us an example of what was your experience? How do you manage that time?
Yeah, learning Mayan languages is something beautiful because they have a lot of things so different from Spanish and from English. For example, I want to give you some examples about how the language goes. In Man, for example, when you say, when you want to say thank you, you say chajonte, right? And in Spanish we say de nada, in English you say you're welcome, but they say chajonte kaman, and that means instead of saying thank you, or instead of thanking me, please thank God. That's what it means. So when you say chajonte, say chajonte kaman, and something that I really love about that is that they bow their bodies when they talk to you, like chajonte kaman tata. That's something that I really love about the Mayans.
That's why, because you learn the language and you learn about the culture of
Absolutely, you have to. Even in English, when you are teaching English, you have to show the culture to the people so they understand how and why they use specific expressions. In Mayan languages, you have to do the same. Because if you don't show them the culture, it won't have any meaning. So that won't work.
Okay. Which language helped you the most learn English?
Well, when I was there, I had to learn the Mayan language. That is called Mam. Okay. Mm-hmm. It was so hard for me to talk in Mam because the pronunciation is so different. Some sounds come from the throat. But when I started learning English, it was so easy because the sounds of English comes from the middle of the mouth. So that is something that I really enjoyed about learning English. It was easier than learning Mam.
The Mayan language helped you
Absolutely.
the most for
Absolutely, it helps a lot. That's why they say that Mayan can speak English better and faster than us, because their language comes from the throat, most of the sounds.
So thank you so much for everything that you have shared with us today. So it has been really amazing to know more about that. And also I have a question right here. So which one has been the most difficult area for you? Pronunciation or grammar?
Well, if you're talking about the Mayan language, I would say that both, because as I said in another question, the sounds from Mayan language, or the sounds of the Mayan language, come from the throat. And I'm gonna give you some examples. For example, if you want to say in mom, give it to me, you have to say ansa te huella. So it comes from here. Ansa te huella. That's one example. And that in the grammar is so interesting, because in Spanish you conjugate the verbs and you possess the nouns, right? In English too, but in mom you possess the verbs, so the actions are possessed. For example, if you want to say I'm playing soccer, or I am playing with the ball, you have to say my playing goes to the ball. So when you say, for example, you tell me, you have to say something you're saying comes to me. Or if you want to say, for example, I tell you, you have to say, literally, you have to say my saying goes to you. So you need to possess the action. So that's something different. And because you have to possess the actions, you need to master the directions that goes to and comes to. Comes to me and goes to you. So whenever you mention an action, you gotta say where this action goes to and where it's coming to. So that's something weird and very nice.
Yeah, but eating, it sounds pretty nice, because we know that all languages have different things, and well, so thank you so much for that. So now, can you share with us some examples of, like how mom is like different from English and Spanish?
Okay, I think that the answer that I just gave you is
Related.
is what makes the difference. Because as I said, in English and Spanish you possess the nouns and you conjugate the verbs, but in mom you possess the actions. So that's something that is it's making a difference. But I would like to say something in mom. I want to say something that I am happy to be here, and that the way you say it is in Chinsalach Chintenetzalu. That means I'm happy to be here with you. Tukulteya means with you.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't heard a lot from people talking in mom, but from some videos that I see on social media. But to be honest with you, I can speak like a little bit of Kachigel, not a lot, but I don't really understand what they say, because that's something different. Maybe there are some similarities, but maybe not that much.
Well, the similarities among the Mayan languages are, for example, the name of the animals, for example, something like that. But the verbs, and I don't know what else, but the grammar is different. Mam and Cachiquel and Quichea is totally different. And the thing is that there is something that I would like to make it clear. For example, I don't know if you have heard about the difference between language and dialect. People used to call Mayan languages as dialects, like dialectos, right? But the thing is that you have the whole people, for example, in San Marcos, in Huetenango, they speak Mam. In all those places speak Mam. But the difference between one town and another, that's the dialect. It's like in Spanish, for example, in Mexico, you use chamaco for boy. In Guatemala, you say patojo, and that's a dialectical difference. Yeah, we speak Spanish, but there are differences, and the differences makes the dialects.
Right. Yes, because I have heard a lot that they say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate your time and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you.
That's my pleasure, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.